Augusto, following the disgraceful events that we saw take place on Australia Day, you have co-authored a piece in the Spectator Australia that examines the relentless propaganda enacted against the notion of Australia. You have written, and I quote, "Every day, more and more Australians are feeling embarrassed to celebrate their own history and achievements. We are becoming a nation with no practical sense of patriotism and pride in our history," end quote. Augusto, how do we know that what we're seeing take place in Australia is a genuine campaign of political propaganda and not, for example, just a bunch of activists annoyed they lost the voice?
Well, they are pushing really hard for this, and this is a process that has been on the way for such a long time. So it couldn't be just accidental. The children and any people in Australia, they are all being indoctrinated by these elites to hate each other and to actually be confused on even the most basic aspects of their lives, including their sexuality. So everything is done in such a manner as to deconstruct a society and deconstruct the individuals belonging to a society.
It also seems to be rather relentless. So normally when you get a single movement, it sort of comes up, there's a couple of marches, and then in 6 or 7 months it goes away. But we've been suffering under this anti-Australian rhetoric for a good decade now. Is there any sense that it's going to stop, or is it just getting stronger as it senses weakness in our political regime?
Well, look, it's not going to get better, because this is part of a more sinister agenda, which is to weaken us, which is to destroy our families so that the state can be more powerful and more all-encompassing. So this is not accidental, and this is very much part of the deliberate plan to turn our society into divided people. That is perhaps the application, the practical application of that ancient Roman strategy of divide and conquer. So we are being divided in order for them to be able to more easily control us and guide the society according to their plans.
And Augusto, is this propaganda being carried out by one group on the left, or is Australia currently under attack from different group of propagandists? I ask this because we've got the rainbow-haired communists, and they're not exactly the same as the race-baiting, pay-the-rent activists, and they're not the same as the pro-Palestinians who destroyed the Captain Cook statue and made threats against the Australian people. Is this, shall we say, a swarm of ideologies, and is that particularly dangerous?
Well, this is goes very much according to their plan, which I have mentioned. That is to create a society that's utterly divided, and people start to dislike one another because they are tribalized. So if you have these groups and they do not uphold a coherent worldview, that's not really an important thing for these people who are advancing such a sinister agenda, because ultimately what they really want is for us to hate one another. So even if the groups do not really match in terms of the worldview, the whole purpose is to deconstruct our society. It's to deconstruct our Christian heritage and our British institutional framework.